Those who protect and save other animals lead the way in protecting and saving humanity and the world because this world is full of amazing animals. Hello students, this is your EVS teacher Sir Arindam and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel Revision Learning. And today I am going to teach you one of the most interesting chapter from your science book, your second chapter, Animal World. So let's start with the beautiful wildlife of the animals. Wildlife traditionally refers to the undomesticated animal species but has come to include all organisms that grow or live wild in an area without being introduced by humans. Animals are found almost everywhere, starting from deserts, polar regions, oceans, air, and mountains. The surroundings in which the animals live is called their environment. So here we can find the definition of environment. The food habits, behavior, and body feature of different animals are of different types, which help them to live in any particular environment. Now let's come to habitat. What is habitat? An area in which a particular animal naturally lives, eats, grows, and reproduces is called an habitat. It is the natural home or environment of an animal, plant, or other organism. Now, as for example, if we take forest means what? Forest is a large area which is usually dominated by trees and other plants. So, forest is the habitat of many wild animals like lions, monkeys, tigers, deer, snakes, etc. Animals also live different places in the forest, like the lion lives in a den, snake usually lives in a hole, bird lives in its nests, then tigers live in caves, monkeys in the trees, rabbits in burrows, etc. So we can say that different animals live in different habitats. The main habitats for animals are forests, deserts, polar regions and high mountains, oceans and fresh waters. Now let's come to the deserts. The most hottest and dry place are called the deserts, where water is hardly found. During the day, deserts are the most hottest and while the night it is the most coolest. Desert animals have some special body features which help them to survive. For example, desert lizards and desert rats, they have thick skin which help them to save water. Another most important desert animal is camel. Camel stores fat in the hump and it uses it as food when it's required. It can live without food and water for a long time and it is the most special feature of a camel. The long legs of a camel help to keep its body away from the heat of the sand, and it also protects its eyes from the sand with its long eyelashes. The eyelashes that the camel have helps it to protect from the sand. They have padded feet which help in walking on the sand without sinking in it. Now if we walk on the sand we will definitely sink in the sand, but when a camel walks in the desert, in the sand especially, they don't sink because they have the padded feet which help them to walk in the sands. Now let's come to the animals of the polar regions and high mountains. The polar regions and the high mountains are the most coolest places. They are the very cold places. Why? Because they are always covered with snow. The polar bears, sea and penguin are mostly found in these regions. They are able to survive there because they have special features which helps them to withstand the cold weather. For example, they have a layer of fat under their skin which helps them to keep warm. Now let's come to the animals of the oceans. Now what is the ocean? You know, it is the water bodies of the earth. You have got this in the Maps and Globes chapter. So ocean is the largest habitat on the earth because a huge variety of aquatic animals and marine animals live in the oceans. Now, what are aquatic animals? The animals that live in water are called aquatic animals, and a large variety of aquatic animals are found in oceans. For example, you can say different variety of fishes, octopus, shark, blue whale, etc. are found here. Now, blue whale is the largest animal that we know which is present in the earth today. Okay. Now come to the freshwater animals. The rivers, lakes, ponds, etc. are the freshwater, and the freshwater animals are the fishes, frogs, and salamanders. They live in the freshwater and they make the freshwater as their habitat. Frogs and salamanders can live both on land and in water, and it is their special quality. Thus, they are called amphibians. Let's come to the adaptation. What is adaptation? The changes in the body organs, functions, features, and behavior of an organism that help it to survive in its habitat is called an adaptation. The adaptations are the changes in the features or behavior of an organism which helps the organisms to survive in their respective habitat. Adaptations may be in their body coverings, maybe in their breathing organs, in their movement and feeding habits. Now we will read all the things. First we will start with the body coverings. So you know usually that animals do not wear any clothes to protect themselves as we humans do. So nature has provided them the body coverings that help them to live in a particular habitat and to protect themselves from heat, cold, weather and everything. So they also use their body coverings to keep themselves safe from the hunting by any other animals. Now we will read the body coverings of some particular animals. Now the first is scales. Bodies of fishes and reptiles are usually covered with scales. Fish have upon their skin hard plates which are called scales, which have various functions. Like scales protect the skin from attacks by any predator or parasites or from any other injuries. Scales vary in shape, size and structure. The scales of shrimp fish are rigid, means thick, while eel has no scales. Most of the reptiles have horny scales to prevent water loss also, and the snakes also have scales. The snakes usually use scales to move on the land. The snakes, they shed their skin periodically, which is replaced by a new one, and this process of shedding of skin to acquire a new one is called molting. Now second is shell. Shell is a hard rigid layer which has evolved in a very wide variety of different animals including snails, tortoises and turtles, etc. Animals like snails, tortoises and turtles have very hard shells, and when these animals are in danger, they protect themselves by putting their head and limbs into the shell. Now let's come to feathers. The one thing that distinguishes birds from all other animals is feather. Only birds have feathers and it is used for flight, for the temperature control and attracting a mate by the birds. Birds also use their feathers to keep themselves warm in cold and also to protect from the rain. All birds have three types of feathers: flight feathers, down feathers and body feathers. You can see in your textbook the pictures are given. Now let's come to your fourth, which is fur or wool. Animals like the sheep, goats and bears have fur that covers their body. Now thick fur or wool protects the animals from rain and cold. In the same way, sheep's hair, which is also known as wool, keep them warm when it is cold. We also use the sheep's hair to make wool for woolen cloths. Now there is an interesting fact, students. Have you seen the animal chameleon? A chameleon is an animal that can even change their color to match with the surroundings, and this quality of some animals are called the camouflaging animals. This property is called camouflage. Now let's see what is this. We know that some animals like tigers, zebras and grasshoppers have special body coverings. We have seen this in the tigers, zebras and grasshoppers. They can merge their body coverings with their surroundings, and this property is called camouflage, and these animals are called camouflaging animals. The camouflage makes animals hard to spot and it protects them from the other hunting animals. Okay students, now let's come to the feeding habits of animals. Different animals have different types of feeding habits. Their food habits are totally different. Some eat flesh, whereas some animals eat only plants and trees and shrubs. Now on the basis of feeding habits, we can divide the animals into three types: the herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. First, animals that eat only plants are called herbivores or herbivorous animals. For example, cows, goats, giraffes and deer etc. are some of the herbivorous animals. They have very sharp front teeth, which are also called as incisors, which is used to cut the parts of the plant, and they also have flat back teeth, which are the premolars and molar teeth, which is used to grind the food. The second is the animals that eat flesh of other animals are called carnivores or carnivorous animals. For example, lions, tigers, wolves, etc. Now these carnivorous animals have very sharp pointed and curved front teeth, which are called as canines, which is used to tear the flesh of the of other animals, and they also have a strong back teeth, which are again called the premolars and molars, which is used to chew the flesh and bones of the other animals. Now some flesh eating birds are also there. For example, the eagles, kites and vultures. They also have a sharp and hooked beaks for tearing the flesh of other animals. There are some animals that eat both plants and animals, and they are called omnivores or omnivorous animals. Now you can see we are also the omnivorous animals because we can eat both the plants and the animals. We eat both vegetables and non-vegetables. So human beings are the biggest example of omnivorous animals. Along with the human beings, there are bears and crows that are also fall in this category. Organs for breathing. Now, different animals breathe through different organs. Tiny organisms like amoeba and paramecium breathe through their body. Insects have tiny air holes along the side of their bodies. These holes are called spiracles, through which the insects breathe. The air that enters through the spiracles reach all the parts of the body through small tubes called breathing tubes. These tubes form a fine network and reach each and every tissue of the body of the insects. Aquatic animals like fish, prawn and crabs breathe with the help of gills. What they do, they take in water through their mouth and pass through their gills where the oxygen is absorbed, which reaches to every part of the body. Now an earthworm breathes through moist skin with the help of their skin, means through its skin. And an interesting fact is that an adult frog breathes through its moist skin when it is in water, but when it is on land, it breathes through the lungs. All mammals that include we human beings breathe through lungs. All the birds, reptiles, adult amphibians, like I said, frog, etc. breathe through lungs. Do you know how we breathe? Let's see the picture. We take in air through our nose, that is our nasal cavity, which reaches to our lungs through the windpipe. The lungs then keep the oxygen part and release the carbon dioxide, which is then breathed out with the help of the nostrils. Some mammals like the whales and the dolphins, which live in water, also breathe through their lungs. This is very strange, but yes, they do like this. Now let's come to the movement of different animals. Different animals use different organs for movement. Like the land animals mostly move with the help of the legs. Most of the animals have 4 legs. The 2 front legs are called forelimbs and the 2 back legs are called the hind limbs. We human beings usually use our hind limbs or the legs to move. Reptiles like the lizards, crocodiles, and turtles crawl on the land with the help of their short legs, but snakes do not have any legs. They move with the help of their body scales. Aquatic animals like fish move with the help of their fins. They have two paired fins which help them to move forward, unpaired fins which help them to maintain balance, and tail fins help in changing the direction of. There are some animals such as hydra and jellyfish that have tentacles through which they move, and starfish have tube feet with the help of which they move. Now animals like penguins swim with the help of their flippers. Frogs and ducks used webbed feet to move and swim. Now coming to the birds. All birds have boat-shaped bodies. Hollow bones, strong wings, and light body weight is help them to fly. Using their wings up and down, birds push themselves in the air that helps them to fly. Some birds such as emu, ostrich, and penguin cannot fly as they have heavy bodies and weak wings. The main characteristics of the birds are the lighter weight and strong wings, but as these birds do not have any such features, so that they cannot fly. Now insects like ants and cockroaches crawl with the help of their 6 legs. They use these 6 legs for movement. Many insects like butterfly and firefly have wings which help them to fly. Now some insects like the water boatman swim in water with legs. This is another very strange insect. Now let's come to the last part of our chapter, migration. Migration means the mass movement of animals from one place to another place to a more favorable environment. Every year, some animals and birds travel from one place to another in search of food and to avoid the problems that their present environment was creating. We can take some examples like the Arctic tern bird that travels almost 1000 km every winter from the Arctic Circle to the Antarctic Circle. Siberian crane and mallard duck comes to India every winter for breeding. The fish like salmon, insects like locusts, and monarch butterflies also migrate long distance. Monarch butterflies migrate from Canada to Mexico during winter and come back in the summer. So this is all about your second chapter, Animal Planet. I hope every one of you have understood the chapter as I covered almost every details of your chapter. So just go through the chapter, go through every explanation once again if you think you have missed anything. Okay students, so keep studying and don't forget to subscribe the Revision Learning and press the bell icon so that you stay updated with the channel, and keep studying because your education is our care. Thanks for watching.